Good morning, everyone. House Transportation Committee will come to order. And the clerk will open the roll for attendance, please. And the clerk will close the roll. We have a quorum. All right, well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for being with us this morning. To begin our meeting, I will turn over for our subcommittee reports, and we will begin with our Department of Motor Vehicle subcommittee chaired by Delegate Brianna Sewell. So Chair Sewell, if you would like to begin your report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We'll start off with House Bill 57, patroned by Delegate Fagans. House Bill 57 expands the permitted use of funds returned to a locality from certain vehicle fees to include the purchase or maintenance of necessary equipment, supplies, facilities, and vehicles permitted by the Office of Emergency Medical Services and other operating expenses. The subcommittee, under current law, such funds may be used for the purchase of necessary equipment and supplies for use in the locality for emergency medical services provided by nonprofit emergency medical service agencies. Madam Chair, the subcommittee recommends reporting on a vote of 10-0, and I so move.
Second.
So moved and seconded to report the bill. The clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. Bill report 17-0. Delegate Sewell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next up, we have House Bill 94. Madam Chair, I move the committee amendment.
All right, the amendments have been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The amended bill is before us. Delegate Sewell.
The amendment changes the description of the license plate from which the exemption is expanded to the department's standard passenger license plate. Madam Chair, House Bill 94 extends the current exemption from annual vehicle registration fees for disabled veterans or their unremarried surviving spouse to eligible vehicles displaying standard license plates. Current law applies such exemption to only a vehicle displaying disabled veteran special license plates. The subcommittee recommends reporting on a vote of 10-0 with amendments and re-referring to appropriations, and I so move.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to report the bill and refer to appropriations. A clerk will open the roll. You might need a second.
Next, just kidding.
Sorry, my mic was off. Clerk will close the roll. Bill reports and is referred to appropriations with a vote of 17-0. Delegate Sewell.
House Bill 219 permits key vehicles operated on any limited access highway, interstate highway, or highway with the posted speed limit of under 55 miles per hour. The subcommittee recommends continuing the bill.
Second.
All right, so moved and seconded to continue this bill to the 2027 session. I believe that is it a voice vote to continue? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the bill is continued. Thank you. Delegate Sewell.
Next, we have House Bill 498. House Bill 498 is patroned by Delegate Watts, and it authorizes the enforcement of motor carrier violations of license, registration, and tax requirements and vehicle size limits at locations other than permanent weighing stations, and clarifies that law enforcement officers, in addition to size and weight compliance agents, may enforce such provisions. The subcommittee recommends reporting on a vote of 10-0, and I so move.
Second.
All right, if we have a technical issue, so if you could stand by while we correct that, Delegate, I appreciate the report, and we'll take the vote in a moment. The committee will. Oh, well, it was that quick. Before I could even get to ease. So it is moved and seconded. The motion was to report the bill. Is that correct? Correct. All right. It's been moved and seconded to report the bill. The clerk will open the roll. All right, clerk will close the roll, and the bill report 17-0. Delegate Sewell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 545 was recommended from the subcommittee on a vote of 10-0. And it's designed to create motorcycle driver improvement clinics across the Commonwealth of Virginia. There are some lingering questions on what exactly the process will entail and what the information that will be included in the clinic will entail. As a result, I have been asked to re-refer House Bill 545 back to the subcommittee for further analysis.
All right, it's moved and seconded to re-refer the bill back to the subcommittee. It's a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the bill is back in the subcommittee and can probably have
House
another
Bill-
week. No, go ahead, Delegate.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
House Bill 559, patroned by Delegate Wyatt, prohibits the employment of a driver training school instructor for driver education courses of minors if the instructor has been convicted of certain sex crimes or any offense that requires registration on the sex offender and crime against minors registry. The subcommittee recommends reporting on a vote of 10-0, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded to report the bill. Okay, we still are having a little bit of technical issues. We'll see if it gets fixed before I say the committee is at ease. All right, subcommittee, or the full committee, we're having subcommittee reports. The full committee will come back to order. I believe we have corrected our technical issues, so we can go ahead and resume our vote. Delegate Sewell, if you could just, for the benefit of everyone, state which bill you had just presented and the motion that you had made, and we'll resume from there.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I had presented House Bill 559, where the patron is Delegate Wyatt.
And you had made a motion from the subcommittee to report the bill, and it had been seconded. So we were prepared to take our vote, and so we'll start from that place, and I will ask the clerk to open the roll, please. Clerk will close the roll, and the bill report 17-0. Delegate Sewell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next up, we have House Bill 570, patroned by Delegate Fagans. House Bill 570 provides that motor vehicle dealer records may be preserved in original form or electronically, and removes the option to use certain obsolete methods. As a result, the subcommittee recommends reporting on a vote of 10-0, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded to report the bill. The clerk will open the roll. And the clerk will close the roll. The bill report 17-0. Delegate Sewell.
Next up, we have House Bill 586, patroned by Delegate Wyatt. House Bill 586 changes the entity with which a dealer who changes his business hours must file such change from the Department of Motor Vehicles to the Motor Vehicle Dealer Board. The subcommittee recommends reporting on a vote of 10-0, and I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded to report the bill. The clerk will open the roll. The clerk will close the roll. The bill report 17-0. Delegate Sewell.
House Bill 608, patroned by Delegate Wyatt, authorizes the use of dealers' license plates on vehicles delivering or transporting vehicle parts and accessories and fuel, so long as such delivery or transport of fuel consists of no more than 5 gallons of such fuel, and such fuel is in a container or a type of approved container by the Commissioner of the Department of Motor Vehicles. The bill also authorizes a dealer to permit his license plates to be used in the operation of a motor vehicle by a person authorized by the dealer on a vehicle that is being driven to or from an automotive retail or supply store or retail facility selling automotive supplies or parts. The subcommittee recommends reporting with amendments, and I move the subcommittee amendments.
Second.
Moved and seconded to adopt the amendments. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, the amended bill is before us.
The subcommittee recommends reporting with amendments on a vote to 10-0, and I so move.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded to report the bill. The clerk, as amended, the clerk will open the roll. All right, clerk will close the roll. The bill reports 18-0. Delegate Sewell.
Last but not least, we have House Bill 788, patroned by Delegate Austin. And I'm going to turn it over to Delegate Austin as he has a substitute.
All right, Delegate Austin, you have the floor.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Chair and Subcommittee Chair. I have before you House Bill 788. And this is an amendment in the nature of a substitute. This is a bill that allows the towing operators to receive a copy of the State Police Accident Report. The changes are contained within line 21 of the bill, and the language is changed to sole purpose is the only change. So I think we've got everybody, the Truckers Association, State Police, and everyone who's involved in agreement with this legislation now. So I say there's peace in the valley, and I would ask that the committee approve the bill with the changes of the language within. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate Austin. So I think, could we have a motion to adopt the substitute?
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, so the substituted bill is before us. Since this is a change from what we heard in subcommittee, I'll ask the members if anyone has any questions for the patron. And if not, since this is a change, I will ask if there is anyone in the audience that would like to speak to the bill. All right, we have no one for and no one against. All right, so the substituted bill is before us.
Move to report.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to report with
The
substitute.
Yes, thank you.
All right, the clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll, and the bill reports 18-0. Thank you, Delegate Austin, and thank you, Chair Sewell, for your subcommittee report. The next subcommittee that we have to report is the Transportation Infrastructure and Funding Subcommittee, chaired by Delegate Carr. So, Delegate Carr, if you could present your report, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First bill we looked at was HB 88, and it had to do with the highway rights of way, invasive species. It requires the Commonwealth Transportation Board to establish and implement a policy for identifying and removing or controlling any invasive plant on the list of invasive plants created by the Department of Conservation and Recreation on any state highway right-of-way, and prohibits the Commonwealth Transportation Board and Commissioner of Highways from planting or causing or suffering to be planted any such invasive plant on the right-of-way of any state highway. Current law prohibits the planting of 3 listed plants if the governing body of the locality declares such weeds or plants to be injurious and requires the board to remove the plants. The substitute, which the committee had reports, the substitute removes the requirement for the board to remove such plants and directs VDOT to conduct a review of the processes and resources that would be necessary and appropriate to determine the prevalence of the listed invasive plants on any state highway right-of-way, and develop options for establishing and implementing a plan to remove or control such plants and manage such plants on an ongoing basis. Submit a report of its findings to the chairs of the House and Senate committees on transportation. So the subcommittee recommends reporting with a substitute and referring to appropriations, 10-0, and I so move.
Chair, I think, do we need to move the substitute separately? Can I hear a motion to adopt the substitute?
Second.
All right, with the second, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, if the chair, would you renew your motion for the bill before us?
So I move that HB 88, as with the substitute, be moved forward.
All right, moved and seconded. And this needs to be.
And sent to appropriations.
Okay, so the motion is to report and refer to appropriation. That motion has been seconded. The clerk will open the roll.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, clerk will close the roll. Bill reports and is referred to appropriations by a vote of 18-0. Chair Carr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Next is HB 141. There is an amendment, so the subcommittee recommends reporting with the amendment. This is by Delegate Reed. So I think we need to pass the amendment.
All right, amendment's been moved by Delegate Carr. It's been seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the amended bill is before us. Delegate Carr.
Madam Chair, this exempts the Virginia Passenger Rail Authority from certain requirements, procurement and technology procedures, fees and charges, and expands certain existing exemptions to which it is already entitled. The amendment changes the type of contract affected by one provision of the bill related to procurement from indefinite delivery or quantity contracts to term contracts. And so, Madam Chair, the subcommittee recommends reporting with amendments 10-0, and I so move.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to report the bill with amendments. The clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. The bill reports 18-0. Delegate Carr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. HB 330 is our next bill, and there is a substitute, which I so move.
Second.
Moved and seconded to adopt the substitute. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, the substitute bill is before us. Delegate Carr.
Thank you. This bill authorizes signs containing advertisements or notices that have been authorized by a county or city and that are securely affixed to real property that is owned by the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority to be erected, maintained, or displayed within 660 feet of the right-of-way of any interstate system, national highway system, or federal aid primary highway, provided that such signs comply with any applicable federal requirements. The substitute instead adds such signs authorized by a county or a city and affixed to real property owned by WMATA to an existing exemption from certain sign requirements. So the subcommittee recommends reporting and referring to appropriations. And I so
Second.
move.
All right, it's been moved to report with a substitute and refer to appropriations, and that motion has been seconded. The clerk will open the roll.
Excuse me?
All right, clerk will close the roll, and bill report 17-1. Delegate Carr.
Our next bill is HB 411. This, again, is a patron by Delegate Reed, and it authorizes the Commissioner of Highways to enter into agreements for a term of 5 years with the U.S. Department of Transportation as provided for in federal law regarding state assumption of responsibility for categorical exclusions in the Surface Transportation Project Delivery Program. The bill authorizes the Department of Transportation to assume certain responsibilities of the U.S. Secretary of Transportation pursuant to such agreement. Under the bill, the Commonwealth waives its immunity from civil suit to a federal court under certain circumstances. The bill contains an expiration date of 5 years after the date on which the first agreement is entered into. And the committee recommends reporting and referring to appropriations 10-0, and I so move.
Second.
All right, it's moved and seconded to report and refer the bill to appropriations. The clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. Bill reports and is referred at a vote of 18-0. Delegate Carr.
Thank you. Madam Chair, HB 446 has to do with eminent domain. It expands the authority of the Virginia Passenger Rail Authority to exercise the power of eminent domain. The amendments add a code section with which VPRA may comply where applicable, and provides that regarding certain types of acquisition of land affected by a bill, the Comden Nor shall not acquire an uneconomic remnant if the owner objects and desires to maintain ownership of the excess property. So I'd like to accept the amendments. So moved.
All right, we have a motion and a second to adopt the amendment. Oh, sorry, my mic wasn't on. We have a motion and a second to adopt the amendments. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, the amended bill is before us.
And so, Madam Chair, the subcommittee recommend reporting with the amendments 10-0, and I so move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to report the bill. We just need 1 second to bring up the voting board, so if the members could stand by. All right, clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll. The bill reports 18-0. Delegate Carr.
Thank you, Madam Chair. HB 649 concerns the removal of certain signs and advertisements within the limits of highway agreements. It requires any agreement entered into by the Commissioner of Highways with the local governing body authorizing the removal of signs and advertisements within the limits of a highway to provide that the locality shall not authorize volunteers on its behalf to remove signs or advertisements that constitute an advertisement as defined by current law related to political campaign advertisements. The substitute further required localities to only authorize designated employees of the locality acting in their official capacity to remove such signs or advertisements, and expands the prohibition on volunteers removing such signs to include contractors and compensated non-employee individuals. So the committee recommended the amendment, and I so move.
All right, so moved and seconded to adopt the amendment. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, the amended bill is before us. Delegate?
And then the committee recommended reporting the amendments 7-2 and 1 abstention, and I so move.
Madam Chair,
Delegate Austin.
speaking to the bill.
Delegate, you have the floor.
Madam Chair, I had some concerns with this bill as drafted, and I had suggested or recommended that we make it, that the patron make it pertaining specifically to that planning district. I understand his concerns. I think his concerns are very legitimate, but this is a statewide bill, and I don't, for that reason, it's not a statewide bill?
Delegate Hayes
I'm
is
sorry.
here to expand on the bill.
Thank you,
So
Madam
if you'd
Chair.
like to go ahead and,
I would say I've had conversations with council, and we were narrowing the bill as a substitute, also included with the substitute to Planning District 23.
Madam Chair?
so I think you have, so it sounds
Okay.
like there's a substitute that you could, that it is available for us to adopt. And council, would you report what the substitute does so that the committee can know what we're about to adopt?
Madam Chair, the substitute limits the bill to Planning District 23.
Okay.
Madam-
Substitute's been moved. Is there a second? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, the substituted bill is before us. Are there any questions for the patron?
Madam
Is
Chair,
that
I
satisfied?
owe the patron an apology. Thank you. Thank you. I will be supporting the bill now. I apologize.
All right. Any other questions from the committee? All right, so now we have the substituted bill before us. Do we have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move that we move the substitute.
All right, a motion to report the substitute has been seconded. The clerk will open the roll. All right, the clerk will close the roll, and the bill reports 16-2. Thank you, Delegate.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee.
All right, Delegate Carr.
Our next bill, Madam Chair, is HB 943. This authorizes campus police officers to use all toll bridges, toll ferries, toll tunnels, and toll roads in the Commonwealth without the payment of toll while in the performance of their official duties. And so the subcommittee recommended reporting 9-0 and with 1 abstention, and I so move.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to report the bill. The clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll, and the bill reports 17-0. And before we complete this subcommittee report, I want to confirm that House Bill, was it 330, I believe was sent, I believe the motion that we made was to report and refer to appropriations, but I do want to confirm that bill actually does not need to go to appropriations. Do I have confirmation from?
HB 411 goes to appropriations, Madam Chair, but not 330.
So I'm being told that that the motion that we made on 330 was it to report and refer to appropriations? If so, we will need to correct that. Okay, so to correct that, I think we sent that one to appropriations, and we do not have a letter, is that correct? That does not need to go to appropriations, is that correct?
Madam Chair,
Delegate?
having voted on the prevailing side of House Bill 330, I ask that we reconsider our vote.
Second.
And that is a voice vote, correct? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, the bill is before us again. We have a motion.
Madam Chair, I move to report HB 330 and refer to.
Yep.
Move to report.
Move to report.
Second.
With substitute. All right, we are moving to report with substitute. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, the clerk will open the roll.
Madam Chair.
All right, clerk will close the roll. The bill reports 18-0, and just because these ones were next to each other, we want to make sure 441 was the bill that, please say the number again that was just brought to my attention.
411 is the one that goes to appropriation.
411 is the one that was to go to appropriations, and we're just going to confirm that that went where it was supposed to go before we adjourn, and then we'll be done. It's our last item. Okay, the correct motion was made on that bill, so I believe we are set. That completes your subcommittee report, correct, Delegate Carr?
That's correct.
All
Thank
right.
you, Madam Chair.
So that is all the business before the committee. Do we hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you all for your work today.